Hello there. This is me again, Bobby, in 5 minutes with KeRusso. It's Monday, so you're not seeing Whitney. This coming Friday, I think you're going to see some other, start seeing new faces, even besides Whitney. You're going to be blessed by them all. But today you're stuck with me. And we are in Leviticus, but you're not stuck with Leviticus because Leviticus is a gift. Let's look at this gift and appreciate something about it, okay? I want to show you something in chapter 1. I'm going to read verse 1 and 2. The Lord called to Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting. And he said, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when anyone among you brings an offering to the Lord, bring as your offering an animal from either the herd or the flock." Now, you read those verses there and you think, I just don't relate. I get that. Do you realize that in my town, there's not a single place I can go to where there's an altar of the priest standing next to it, and I can bring a bull, have him put the bull on the altar and kill the bull so I can offer it up as a sacrifice to God? There's not a place like that in my town. I don't raise animals for sacrifices. You don't either, do you? So we read this and we don't relate to it. And the first 6 chapters of Leviticus are about offerings. There's a burnt offering. There's a grain offering. There's a peace offering or fellowship offering. There is a sin offering or purification offering. And there is a guilt offering or a reparation offering. Those aren't part of our world, at least we don't think about it, but they really are, okay? Because, you see, offerings are about relationships. And when you read these first 6 chapters, you want to think about relationships. God is explaining how to have a relationship with him. And just visualize this. God had brought the Israelites out of Egypt, out of slavery. He brought them to this mountain called Mount Sinai. And he's at the very top of the mountain, and they're at the foot of the mountain, and God has put a boundary around it because, you see, the Israelites are in a very precarious and dangerous situation, and they don't know it. If they touch the mountain, they're going to die. Why? Well, they don't know why. God does, though. And he is explaining this to people. He's keeping them safe while he explains it to them. He says, I want to have a relationship with you, but we got to do this in a way where it's safe for you. And these offerings are a way to do that. The first 3 are voluntary. The last 2 are mandatory because these Israelites, they're going to sin. They're going to come in contact with things they're dead. No avoiding that, and it's going to be a guilt that's going to attach itself to them because of that. And so they're going to be in a very dangerous situation. Leviticus is God explaining how to do this safely. Now, just assume God wants to move into your neighborhood. He wants to be your next door neighbor. You would love that. Who wouldn't want God for a neighbor? Well, you'd like to be able to pop in on God. You'd like for him to drop in on you. But you can't do that with God. He's not like any other neighbor. You see, he's holy and clean. You and I live in this common realm, and we come into contact with things that make us unclean, things like sin and death. So if we read these chapters, it'll explain to us those concepts so we understand what's necessary for us to have a relationship with God. Not that we have to make these kind of sacrifices. Because, see, this is one of the cool things. God has done almost all the sacrificing. He has done almost everything that needs to be done and done exactly how it needs to be done. There's just one sacrifice that we have to make, ourselves. God wants us to sacrifice ourselves, offer ourselves to him. So when you read these 6 chapters of Leviticus, the first 6, there's some concepts there that you need to know about making an offering to God, your life. You want to be in a relationship with God, otherwise you wouldn't be tuning into this channel. And he wants to be in a relationship with you. So listen to these 6 chapters. I want to point out something else to you. If you're going to be in this relationship with God, there's a word you need to get comfortable with. This word sin. It's not a word we like to talk about, think about. We don't want to think that we have sin, but we need to get comfortable with that because that's true. Now, you can have a relationship with any number of people and do anything you want to do and be as bad a person as you want to be, and there'll be people be good with that. You know, you'll have people who'll say, "Hey, go for it. It's your life. Live it the way you want to." But you're not going to get that with God. God's always going to tell you the truth. He's always going to point you to holiness. And so he's going to reveal to you things that are sin, and he's going to ask you to give them up for him. He believes you're going to find that the exchange is worthwhile. Okay? So get comfortable with these things. Next week I'll share some more with you about these first 6 chapters to make them come alive even more. You're blessed. Leave a comment if you want to, or send an email if you want to. booksbycaruso@gmail.com. Thank you.